The Mongol military consisted of perhaps 130,000 people. When you compare this to a total population of 1 million, that's not that much. Mongol armies were able to be supplemented by men from alliances. The army was cavalry based with two types, heavy and light. Heavy wore armor and carried lances. Light had leather helmets and body cover and carried bows. Although they were proficient in knives, hatchets, and maces, the most effective Mongol weapon was the bow. The Mongolian short bow was able to kill from a range of 350 yards. To compare that to an English longbow, a longbow was about only 250 yards. The Mongols could shoot arrows while riding on horseback, even underneath the horse's belly or shielded by its rump. How then was this relatively small army able to carve the largest empire the world had ever seen? Mongol military organization was effective because it was simple. The structure of the military was based on the decimal system. The smallest unit of the army was a squad of 10, called an arban. 10 arbans combined to a company of 100 men, known as a janghun. 10 janghuns could make up a regiment of 1,000, called a minghan. And 10 minghans constitute a force of 10,000, a tumen, a division of mounted warriors. Military commanders were chosen based on their merit and their loyalty to the Khan. Each commander was responsible for his unit's training, supplying, and discipline. Military discipline also distinguished Mongol soldiers from their peers. Young Mongols learned how to ride through hunting and games. All males between the ages of 15 and 60, if they are able to undergo rigorous training, were eligible for conscription. These forces were then exquisitely tailored for mobility and speed. Soldiers were lightly armored, and they were adept to living off the land. Mongol units functioned independently of supply lines, speeding up their movements. The Mongols' favorite attack was to feign defeat. They would ride away until the pursuing enemy thinned out their own lines, and then unleash the hidden cavalry in a pincer attack between the heavy and light cavalry arms. Mongol mobility, speed, and endurance meant that routed enemies rarely escaped, meaning that the overrun could only have two choices: surrender or die. Mongol campaigns were preceded by careful planning, reconnaissance, and gathering of information on enemy territory and strength. These advantages allowed the Mongols to fight on several fronts at once. In the cities they plundered, the Mongols recruited skilled military officials. For example, in China, they got Chinese engineers, to build siege machines to destroy Chinese defenses. As nomads, the Mongols had limited numbers of skilled workers compared to most settled peoples. They routinely recruited skilled labor, moving workers far from their homelands wherever they were needed. Educated foreigners provided administrative duties to the Mongol Empire due to their education. Whenever a city was conquered, the population would be examined, and skilled workers would be sent to Karakorum. After 1230, they would actually take census of conquered lands, one purpose to find talent. The Mongols valued bravery, not just of their own, but also of their enemy as well. For example, one enemy, nicknamed Arrow, would win Genghis's esteem when, despite the fact that his unit was completely routed, stood his ground and shot Genghis's horse out from under him. Arrow would eventually rise to senior commands in Mongol armies. Another advantage the Mongols possessed was their ability to traverse great distances quickly, even in appallingly cold winters. Mongol armies could travel up to 62 miles per day. Mongols preferred to fight in the winter. The frozen ground gave their horses better footing, and frozen rivers were like highways, providing rapid passage into the heart of large urban settlements on the banks. The Mongols were also brutally skilled in their use of terror tactics to control conquered peoples, particularly in their early stages of expansion. If an enemy surrendered, they were generally spared. However, they were forced to pay tribute as price for their deliverance. If an enemy resisted, the Mongols would slaughter all but a few, using the remainder as human shields. Mongol commanders would practice mass murder, torture, and the forced resettlement of hundreds of thousands of conquered peoples.